There's never been a better time to get outside and experience the benefits of nature. Discover nearby trails and explore the outdoors with All Trails. Download the free app today and find your outside.
Welcome to the Going to Killing City podcast, a historical look at murder in Kansas City. Here are your hosts, Jamie Green and Alex Greenwood.
Welcome back. Season 4. It's not a John from Cincinnati situation, Greenwood. And if you get that joke...
Oh my gosh. I haven't heard of that in a while.
No, I didn't even watch John from Cincinnati. I was just so pissed off. I was like, screw you, David Milch. And I was happy that it got canceled. It was stupid. Anyway, yet another Deadwood reference that we do here. So, season 4, we are back. First, a big thanks for all the people that showed up for our second annual walking tour.
Oh, my gosh.
What a hotter. They were a great group, but it was a little hot, a little steamy.
We caught a little solar flare that day. But, I mean, such a connected and interested group of people, and just the side conversations as we trekked through the desert, through the downtown with people was great.
It was a lot of fun, and I think, the second time, I think we'd learned some things from the first one, and we put in some episodes that we had in the first time, and it was great. We'll see. We have some other things coming up we'll talk about here in a second. We'll see if we do a third one. We don't know. You people, you just keep holding on and waiting out. I can't promise, it's going to happen again. All right. So next announcement, our paid Substack subscribers that we love dearly, they already know this, and they get to go for free, folks. But for the rest of you, we have a big announcement. We're going to do a spooktacular event, and Alex doesn't even have to go to a hotel room and get scared. He's going to be there with us. So we're going to be at the Black Box in the West Bottoms.
Spooky.
Our friends at the Black Box are hosting us, and our other good friends who were actually on the walking tour, Alex and crew from West Bottom Whiskey, are going to be making the killer cocktail for us. Oh. So it's going to be, you and I just get to yap. It's all we get to do. It's great.
I'm loving this. We're starting to get enough friends and fans where we don't have to do all of the work, and that's nice too, because that gives us more time to just get a little loose and schmooze, and I like that part. I love that part of it, by the way. Every time we have like a live event, just talking to folks is such a blast.
It sure is. So a lot more details to come soon, but save the date. Thursday, October 8th at the Black Box, 6 p.m. Again, paid subscribers, they already know about it. They also get to go for free. I think it's going to be $5 just to kind of cover their costs at the Black. But if you've not been down to the West Bottoms, the Black Box, really cool space. They do plays and that kind of stuff, and sometimes live music. And Heidi found us, so a shout out to Heidi, who runs the Black Box. She is a big fan of ours and actually came to us and said, hey, let's do something, and we said yes. So I think we should make people dress up, make it really Halloween-y. Why not?
I think we should too. Now, and by the way, folks, and these are not a sponsor, but there are apparently a lot of fun, Kansas City legendary haunted house operations that are should be going full strength by the time this is happening down the West Bottoms. You can make a whole evening out of the West Bottoms, and start it with us, and we'll say bottoms up to West Bottoms Whiskey. Alex and crew will be there. I'm so excited, by the way. I can't tell you how delighted I was when I just looked and I see two. It's Alex and his wife, but I didn't realize at that moment it was them, and it was like 2 West Bottoms Whiskey T-shirts in the group that's with us on the tour, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, West Bottoms!" And then I went, "Holy crap, that's Alex!"
It is. He's allowed to leave the facility. Who knew? Right?
It was really great. Yeah, you meet local celebrities like Alex from West Bottoms if you join us on these live events.
Absolutely. So also, just as a reminder, the first episode for our subscribers, Hometown Horrors, which I did of my hometown of Lincoln, Nebraska, that is up for subscribers. If you want that extra content, folks, if you want to you can't wait to hear us, go back and forth and yap for an hour, you can hear us more. So I did my first hometown horror. And then also a big shout out to my co-host and evil twin. He took my crappy crappy book and
Don't
cleaned
say
it up
that.
and made it look
Don't-
nice. So
Don't say that. It
Okay.
is a great story.
Oh, well,
He's
thank you.
talking about a deadly development, which is this. Listen, if you want some of the inside baseball from a guy who worked in the halls of power here in Kansas City for a number of years, and it's a cracking good story. What he talked about cleaning up was just it's like a manuscript from a while back, and he had a file, and he gave it to me, and I said, do you mind if I just make sure and just give it a little quick spot edit, because I do that on the side. It's one of my side hustles. And he's like, Alex, I don't care, go do what you want.
Please do.
And we found that the file itself had some
like been corrupted almost. Like
had been
some-
corrupted, but
Yeah.
but we managed to put it back together. So it took me a little longer than I wanted to. But the good news is, and I don't want to steal your thunder, Jamie, but the good news is, it's going to be for subscribers, right? Is that what
Subscribers
we're gonna
only. We're gonna do like Charles Dickens did back in the day. It's a
14 of
serial.
them.
Yep, we're gonna drop them per chapter, one a month. I actually have an idea for a second book. So enough people,
Ooh.
you tell me that you liked it, enjoyed it. I might write the second one because I actually have an idea for it. So
Is it a continuation of this
yes, it will
wonderful
be
character?
the same people. So just real quick, so people, if you want to know why, so I, for 5 years of my life, used to go from the greater Kansas City Chamber of Commerce over to City Hall all day Wednesday, because committee's on Wednesday, and then half day Thursday. Because I wrote the City Hauler, which, tens of people read. And anyway, so you're sitting there for hours and you get bored because, the news will cover when they fight at City Hall or stuff, but most of it is very, it's just going through the motions.
Right.
They do the same thing. A lot of these contracts, it's all been sussed out already. It's just, it's staff comes in and talks. It's really boring, I guess is what I'm telling you. So my mind wandered. And so as Alex, but if other people don't, I am a big fan of Ian Rankin.
Yes, Ian Rankin. Brilliant.
Who I got to hang out with in Scotland, which was cool. And so I was like, why not? How about a Kansas City mystery? And it's actually set it at City Hall. That's where the murder takes place. And nobody is 100% based on somebody, so don't sue me. But there are lots of things that I got ideas from people that I have dealt with. And the cop side, as I spoke about before, Kelly, my wife, her entire family were a bunch of cops. So a lot of that stuff is her cousins and her uncles and stuff. So a lot of the cop, kind of the dialogue and stuff, like that's me listening to them over the years. So anyway, so yes, a deadly development. And I do want to, this is one thing, I know I was saying that look like trash and stuff, but the one thing I do want credit for, I wrote that way back in 2011. And the whole thing is there's a development that's taking place at the riverfront where nothing's being at Berkeley Park. Nothing's going on back then. And now look at it. You got the soccer thing, you got apartments, you got all that stuff. So I called it. So there you go. All right.
Did and if I could just say real quick, also that I was going to pull up the little cover we did for it, but I don't know if I can. But I was going to say you and I, we have such parallel lives in a lot.
We
of
do.
ways.
It's
And
weird.
Way before I knew you, I was marketing and PR director for KC Riverfest, which for about 3 years, which was the big 4th of July thing at Berkeley Riverfront Park, which was just a field.
Yep.
Back then. And I'm telling you, it was always, it's just amazing though that you write this book, because it's funny, when I read it all those years ago, I was like, holy crap. Because there you go. So it was just, anyway, it was just kind of neat. I thought that we could do that. And I won't hold this up. I've got this image I'd like to show because I think it's kind of a good one too, but I'll pull that up maybe by the end of the show. I'll have this worked out and we can,
yeah, you're going to have time. I'm the one that's doing all the talking. So
that's the way it should be, by the way.
oh yes, I know, it's so much more easy when you're just drinking and yapping. So yeah.
Summer with the San Francisco Symphony is here. See West Side Story like never before as the symphony performs Leonard Bernstein's score live to the film. Celebrate more than 60 years of 007, featuring iconic hits from Goldfinger, Skyfall, and more. Don't miss Danny DeVito live on stage narrating Matilda as the symphony performs the score with the movie. Tickets at sfsymphony.org.
Good.
It's been a few months off. We won't get into all what we did on our time off. We can talk about that another time. But just for a refresher, my hint to Alex back in April was a killer prescription. And so, Alex, what is your drink for a killer prescription?
Well, hopefully it'll cure what ails you. But of course, you don't. There's some hints that are so oblique, and you're just like you're struggling to figure out what to do. But a killer RX, I mean, doctor, give me the news. But I just went with something, and I realized that particularly because we have a lot of great sponsors who do whiskey and bourbon, and we haven't done a lot of the base spirit of vodka. So we're doing this as a vodka one, and it's called it's the Killer RX. I'm just going to call it that.
Love it.
And it's here's a simple 2-ounce vodka, 3/4 ounce fresh lemon juice, 1/2 ounce elderflower liqueur, Saint Germain is the one. 1/4 ounce simple syrup, adjust to taste. If you don't know how to make simple syrup, here I'll tell you in 5 seconds. Cup of sugar, 3 cups of water. Boil the sugar into it, stir it, let it cool, put it into a jam jar, and you got simple syrup that if you put it in the fridge will last you until you run out of it, or about 30 days, whatever comes soonest. Don't buy it at the store.
You say, Kelly, I need some simple syrup, and she makes it for me.
Yeah, all right. My wife likes the bee's knees, so she likes the honey, and I always tell her, you make that one because it's all sticky. 2 dashes of orange bitters. A splash of club soda is optional. Some people like they want to dilute the spirits. Okay, garnish it with a lemon twist wrapped around a cocktail pick, or a sprig of rosemary to evoke medicinal herbs. Although I got to be honest, I don't love putting rosemary in my drinks because it seems to fall apart, and then I get it in my teeth. So shake the vodka, lemon juice, elderflower, simple syrup, and bitters with ice. Strain it into a chilled coupe or a Nick and Nora glass. If you don't know what those are, contact us and we'll tell you. Or just Google it. I have coupes and Nick and Noras, and they're all a delight. And you know what? Presentation is everything. Top it with that little splash of club soda if you want to lighten it up a little bit. Add your garnish. And just remember, every detective knows prescriptions can save a life or end one. This one comes with vodka, a little citrus, a little sweetness, and just enough bitters to remind you that side effects may include murder. You're welcome.
Yet another awesome drink by Alex Greenwood. We will, since this doesn't drop till the 15th, we're doing this ahead of time. We'll have pictures of it, of the drink, of the cocktail.
Yes,
Alex makes great drinks and takes good pictures of his drinks.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, so it's been a bit. Who's ready to hear a story? Anybody?
I'm ready to hear a story, especially if I don't have to tell it.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. So, trust is the bedrock of medicine, right? When we are at our most vulnerable, we put our lives in the hands of specialists, believing that medication they provide is exactly, and I hate to say this, it's a pun, but what the doctor ordered. But in Kansas City, for nearly a decade, that trust was being systematically dismantled by a man named Robert Courtney. Between 1992 and 2001, Courtney, a respected pharmacist, diluted nearly 98,000. I'm going to say that again. 98,000 prescriptions for over 4,200 patients. Okay, so today we're going to go deep into his background, the high-stakes sting operation that caught him, and the chilling news of his return to society just in May of 2026.
Whoa.
All right. Yeah. That's why I picked it, because it's timely. Okay. Before he was known as, and this is an actual quote by somebody, a monster in a white coat, Robert Ray Courtney was seen as a ideal son. Born in September 15th, 1952 in Hays, Kansas. He was the son of a traveling minister. He was a talented student who played the trombone, which he lost me at trombone. My dad made me play trombone, so maybe that's why he killed people. I don't know. Anyway, at Wichita South High School, before moving on to UMKC. Do you know who does their PR?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you might want to talk to him, because we've got Bob Berdella. We've got the guy that killed the Black Dahlia, what's her bucket case. Yep. We obviously have the Epperson house, and now we have Robert Courtney. Am I forgetting? So we got 4 of them already.
Yeah.
All right. So apparently they shouldn't be the ruse. They should be the murderers. I don't know. I could do better than that.
Cool. That was bad.
So bad. Anyway, so yet another esteemed alum of UMKC, Robert Courtney, back in 1975. Yep. All right. So by 1986, which was a halcyon year for both myself and my cohort, Courtney became the owner of the Research Medical Tower Pharmacy, which, dude, this is right by where we used to live. Right off of Rock Hill and what would that be, like 68th Street? And it was conveniently inside a hospital where he had worked since graduation. And the community. He was the picture of success, right? A deacon at the Northland Cathedral. It's an Assemblies of God megachurch. And a respected figure in professional trade groups. He drove his Mercedes to work every day. And he lived in an expensive home up north in Tremont Manor, which I don't know. That's up Northland somewhere. I don't. You have to look it up. Anyway,
don't know that one.
As you know, I only go to the north of the river for the airport. But anyway,
yeah, I know.
But Courtney's personal life was expensive and increasingly complicated. In 1992, he divorced his first wife, retaining custody of their two daughters and paying a $196,000 settlement. He then began a whirlwind romance with a second woman, gifting her a Jaguar and a 4-carat diamond ring. However, that marriage was annulled after only a few days. And I don't know why. I looked around, I searched. Why did this marriage go wrong after a few days? Nobody asked that question. So yeah, second marriage goes tits up after a few days. All right. By 1994, he's on the Zsa Zsa plan. He married his third wife, Laura Brow, whom he had twins with. All right. Oh, yes. Behind the scenes, the financial pressure of these lifestyle choices, getting divorced is expensive. Doing it twice, right? Twice as expensive.
Yeah, sure is.
He admitted later that he began diluting drugs to pay off a $600,000 tax bill and fulfilling $1 million pledge to his church building fund. Don't give the church the money. Murder, church money. Go with no church money, no murder. Yeah. Anyway. All right. So the cracks in his facade began when Daryl Ashley, an Eli Lilly sales rep, noticed Courtney was billing for massive amounts of the cancer drug Gemzar, or Gemzar. I don't know how to, Gemzar. I'll just say Gemzar. While purchasing very little of it from the manufacturer. Ashley shared his suspicions with Dr. Verda Hicks, an oncologist who had already noticed her patients weren't experiencing standard side effects like hair loss or nausea. Yes, these are cancer patients trying to live. And this asshole is diluting their drugs.
That's why then. Okay, they weren't potent enough to cause the side effects.
So her other patients getting the hair loss, nausea, all that. The ones that Courtney is doing the prescription, not so much. So after the initial tests showed that medications were only at 30% potency, Dr. Hicks contacted the FBI, sparking an investigation entitled, guess what the title of this is? Don't you like when the FBI comes up with these names? What do you think?
Is it a deadly development?
It should have been. There you go.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. Okay, go ahead.
No, it should have been. Diluted trust. Operation Diluted trust.
Okay, very nice. That's like an Epic Fury kind of thing.
Yep. In a high-stakes sting operation, Dr. Hicks ordered chemo for fictitious patients. Courtney personally mixed the bags and walked them to her office, unaware that he was being watched.
Evening. Buyer's remorse. Buy a new car? I'll be moving in. Let's get started.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake. I bought it from Carvana.
You what?
Yeah, great price. I even have 7 days to love it or return it.
So there's no...
No buyer's remorse. More like buyer's rejoice.
I guess I'll let myself out. Congratulations. I mean it.
Buyer's rejoice. Buy your car today on Carvana. Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
The results from the federal lab were horrifying. One bag contained only 28% of the prescribed drug, another 24%, and a third bag contained 0 medication. It was pure saline. On that saline bag alone, Courtney pocketed $800 in profit. When the FBI raided his pharmacy in August 2001, Courtney inadvertently confessed when he identified his initials on the diluted bags. Once again, most criminals are idiots.
They're idiots, yeah.
At the time of his arrest, his assets were valued at $18.7 million.
Wow.
Later in court documents, the FBI will refer to that as blood money, which is fair. During the 2002 trial, the true scale of his crimes emerged. Courtney admitted to diluting 72 different types of drugs over a decade, including treatments for AIDS, diabetes. Do the Wilford Brimley, you have to.
They did it for the diabetes.
Diabetes.
Every blessed morning, they diluted the diabetes.
Diabetes. And even eye drops. What the fuck?
I have dry eye, and I would really be pissed. If
Yeah, and he was quoted as saying, whatever I could dilute, I did dilute.
To take the loot.
What a prick. At the sentencing, U.S. District Judge Orty Smith, I've never heard the name Orty before. He told Courtney, quote, "Your crimes are a shock to the civilized conscience, and they are beyond understanding." And then he handed down the maximum sentence of 30 years.
Well, good.
So Robert Courtney goes to jail. So for years,
yeah,
the victims' families thought the 30-year sentence was final.
I like it.
But as of Saturday, May 2nd, 2026, Robert Courtney has been officially released from a halfway house. He's now 73 years old, and he plans to live in Springfield, Missouri area. He has 5 years left of his sentence, so he's just on probation, which he will serve for a supervised release, requiring regular check-ins with the probation officers. This also follows a controversial move a couple years ago where he was put into home confinement that angered the families of his many victims, very understandably so. If you look on Facebook, if you're still on Facebook, there is actually a Facebook group for these poor families.
Oh, wow.
Where it's a support group and their thing, and it is just, awful. Just awful. And these poor people are still going through the hell that this man put them through, and especially their family members who died. So for the families of the 4,200 people that he harmed, there is no closure. As one family member put it, quote, "What is the difference between withholding life-saving medication and shooting somebody with a gun?"
Amen.
Yep. So Courtney may be finishing his time, but his legacy of his betrayal remains an open wound in Kansas City. So a little bit more on this, just so you can kind of get. So, let's go back to the FBI. So this is the dumb part. When the FBI finally confronted him back in 2001, right? He played it, they kind of played it cool. They showed him the bag and said if he knew who prepared them, and he, not knowing that he was a target, replied that he had. So he had confessed without even realizing he did it. This is what made me, this is a horrible story again, but this made me laugh. Before surrendering 2 days later, he reportedly gave his wife $80,000 in cash, the third wife, and 100 doses of Prozac. Guess he thought she'd be needing those.
Honey, you're going to need this. You don't know it yet. And by the way, they're only a little diluted. I cut them with a little bit of, Fresca. Don't worry about it. You'll be good.
Yeah. So look, I know we always talk about this. We want to make sure that the focus is on the victims, right?
Yes. Right.
And so let's talk a little bit about his sentencing hearing. So in his sentencing hearing, and I was around here. I had just moved back from Arizona, but this was all around right around 9/11, right? So I don't think this got a lot of press play because the whole world was understandably upset and being covering 9/11. So his sentencing hearing was in December of 2002. It lasted over 2 hours. And was filled with the muffled sobs of the victims' families.
Oh, my God.
Stephen Coates showed the court a photo of his wife, Evelyn Johnny Coates, who died never knowing she was, what he called playing against a stacked deck. Georgia Hayes, who received 27 diluted doses, told the court, quote, "I leave Robert Courtney in your hands for his lifetime and the Lord's hands for eternity." And, Courtney, of course, addressed the court and had a soft, shaking voice. But as I said earlier, the judge wasn't having it. So although the guidelines were 17 to 22 years, Smith used a upward departure sentence, which I didn't know. This. Next time we have Jean on, we'll have to ask her about this. So it went from 17 to 30 years in prison. So despite this immeasurable human toll and the fact that many families, like the granddaughter of the victim, Martha Nix, that still believe he should be charged with murder, as I said, he is in a halfway house right now. What a horrible case. What a horrible person. And I would like to kind of delve in. So, crimes of passion, right? People lose their cool.
Right.
Sometimes people are just great. This, to me, I don't know where you would put this guy in our list of the most horrible murderers, but man, he's up there.
I'll just tell you what's coming to mind with me is, there's crimes of commission and omission. This is not quite that, but you get the point, because like you were saying, crimes of passion versus just, kind of reminds me of a guy who put USAID into the wood chipper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a real, at least sociopathic, if not, psychopath to this.
What isn't sociopathy? Isn't being a sociopath in that you just don't really have any empathy or for anybody else? People are just animals or lower than animals to you. If you're a sociopath, you don't. You're supposed to feel bad about things, but you don't.
Yeah.
When you hurt people, and that's what this guy sounds like. I don't know the man. Don't want to know the man, but that's what it sounds like. I think we see that a lot in our society. I've already kind of hinted at that. There's a lot of sociopathy out there that is it seems to be, not only is it okay in our society, seems to be celebrated in a lot of quarters, but it's good to know this guy. Well, I don't think. Well, it doesn't sound to me like he should ever got out of jail, but whatever.
No, I think if you're going to murder somebody, sadly, the way to do it is do something like this, or get drunk and run them over with your car, right? That for whatever reasons that's considered less so. And I haven't talked about this before, but it's been 26 years and stuff. My father had lung cancer, and my father was going through chemo, and I can't tell you how horrible that is already. I just watched the Chris Everett and the Martina Navratilova documentary. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that yet.
Be sure to watch it, because it's basically like, they bond again. They've been friends early in their career, and they became super competitive, and it kind of drifted apart. And then they both were going through cancer at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And both going through, and while seeing that documentary reminded me of just how raw that is. You really get an idea of how much people really want to live. Chemotherapy, it's going to be like what leeching, when they used to bleed people or put leeches on. That's going to be in a few hundred years, whenever they figure out how to treat cancer. I know they're doing some of it now already, but
mRNA, dude.
Yep. But the fact that you are willingly going along with having your body poisoned in the hopes that it will kill the cancer off before the cancer kills you off shows this huge, amazing will to live. And to know that this prick knew that and didn't care and decided, that he just needed the money. And then I love the fact, I owe them for the church. I was like, how many of the commandments are you breaking right now? It's so galling to me. Anyway, so another one that's not super funny, but this one's a huge case in Kansas City. It's certainly something that, again, we feel horrible for the victims. 4,200 people. That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
Even 9/11 killed 3,000. You think about how many people's life, and part of it, I looked, there's estimates on how many people they think he killed, but obviously they don't know, because some of these people, even with chemo and the best care and stuff, would have passed away anyway. So It's really hard to know how many, but he certainly did some. Probably quite a lot.
Well, what about the people who, there's just the fact that maybe they did survive, but their quality of life was diminished during treatment because they weren't getting enough of what they...
The 2026 Lincoln Aviator SUV turns a robust list of features into a world of premium experiences. Excite your drive with impressive horsepower and torque. Customize your comfort with available perfect position seats featuring 30 configurations. Make room for 2 more passengers with powerful third-row seats that can fold flat with the touch of a button. And immerse yourself in the finest expression of design and surfaces with available elevated packages. Experience it for yourself by visiting your local Lincoln retailer.
They need it.
Yep.
They lived, but it could have been maybe a little less miserable.
Yep.
Yeah, this guy, this is a monster. What a
It
monster.
Is. And he's out. So don't go to Springfield. I guess that's what I'm telling you all.
Yeah.
So season 4 goes off. Like I said, this one, sometimes we have fun, but I wanted to do one that's also a little bit, newer per se, because we've been doing it. And I think you hit it out of the park with, Adam of God episode. That was such a hoot. People had so much. Yeah. And, the one before where when I dealt with Lollipop.
Oh, Lollipop was a hoot. Yeah.
I think the ones when they're that old and it's just that crazy and we can put the historic stuff that we can have a good time. These ones that, we are around for these. I certainly remember this case and stuff. It's a lot harder to be glib about it. And certainly, like I said, I looked at the Facebook page. I did not join it, but I wanted to kind of read it, get an indication. These people are still suffering. This has been, he went to jail 25 years ago. That doesn't go away for those people. So
no, it does not. It does not. I'm glad. And thanks for shining a light on it. I know because we've both done these ones that are, like you said, a little more contemporary. I mean, we try to avoid anything super contemporary, but this guy getting out was the hinge on this. But when you do, it is much tougher to be glib about it because and I don't know. It just seems I don't know. Every time we do one back in the, I love to do the old 30s. That's my era. I love to do, and I've always got in my back of my mind that old timey Scott Joplin kind of music going as we're in my head when I'm reading my bit. So it's just a little different. It's different. As the kids say, it hits different.
It does. I do want to know if the third wife, took all 100 doses of Prozac though, and did he dilute them? Were they diluted?
You have to wonder. You have to wonder.
That's got to be an awkward conversation. Do you imagine going to your wife and be like, okay, here's 80,000 and here's 100 Prozac. Things might get a little hot.
Things might get hot. Well, I would wonder if she gave me that. I'd be like, what are you trying to say I do with these things? But
yeah, I should look up too and see if the third wife is, I would assume she's not on social media. You'd hope not, but I'm not too big of a spoiler, but you'd be surprised. Some people just, as we've talked about before, it seems like shame has gone away in this country. So who knows?
Shame has gone away. Yeah. But, they say that, I know we lived through it. After Watergate, shame came back for a while.
It did.
Maybe it'll come back down the road sooner than later.
Well,
good job on that one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well,
once again, our studio audience.
Yes.
Audience joins us for that. So yes, that was this month's episode. I do have some old timey ones I've researched. I think I have one I know you're going to love because it's from that era and it's another crazy tale, but we will save that for next time. So we're back. Like I said, we are back to once a month. Again, if you want to get more stuff that you can listen right now to the most infamous murder case ever in the state of Nebraska. And you certainly will we are going to start rolling out my book month by month and then some other great stuff. So, but until then, Alex, it is time for you to give me my hint for next month.
It is indeed. And I'll say, by the way, I do have my own hometown horror coming your way too. So stay tuned for that. I'm a little late, and my hometown, by the way, it's Oklahoma City. So I'm sure you can all imagine there's some stuff there. All right. I'm going to keep, this one, you're going to be like, really, when I give you this hint, because you're going to be like, how incredibly complex you've made this one, Alex. But here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm going to give it to you right now. Your hint is black and white.
Ebony and ivory.
How did I not? I literally almost started singing that. How did I know you were going to do that? It's the weirdest thing.
Two musical geniuses that wrote a turd of a song.
They wrote it, yeah.
I love the sentiment of the song.
I do too, but
the song itself, not great.
I still remember this time of year when it came out. It was a summer hit, and I was like in junior high, and I was like at the pool, and it was playing over the speakers. You know how you get those sense memories, and This is me lusting after the delightful, very tanned Rebecca, somebody or other, who was the lifeguard, and hearing Ebony and Ivory the whole time.
She's probably a grandma now. Sorry,
oh Lord,
I didn't mean to do that to you, but I've got my high school reunion coming up in the next few weeks.
40th, right?
Yeah,
40th?
yeah. And
mine's this summer too, apparently, but I haven't been to one since the 10-year.
So it's going to be interesting because I see a lot of people talking about their grandkids. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm not ready for that coming.
Yeah, you and I both, right? I mean, my kid's just turning 18 this year.
Yeah, so you don't want to be a grandparent for quite some time.
Indeed, my friend, indeed. Well, black and white, dude.
I like it.
Well, yeah, but you're going to be like, when you get to it, you'll be like, oh, what a cop-out tip or hint that was.
I want you to do the Star Trek episode. Remember that one? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Black and white.
Yeah, and he goes, well, you're two of a kind. No, he's black on the right side.
Yeah.
I'm black on the left side. And that just shows you, by the way, that's a weird episode, but that just shows how dumb racism is.
Totally.
They found a reason to hate each other because one was black on the right side and one was white on the right side. Stupid.
So we have a few minutes. So one of the things, has anybody besides me watched the Live Aid documentary?
I haven't watched it. I'm sorry.
You're going to watch that one. And then there's Hacks finished up.
I don't watch Hacks. Now I watch Widow's Bay, which I thought was incredible.
Yeah, Kelly watches that. And then we're watching The Bear. So The Bear is about ready to be done too.
I won't. I watched Bear. I loved the first two seasons. The third season, I was like, ugh. And the fourth season just left me kind of cold, to be honest. But it's over now. Yeah, there you go.
So, all right. Anything else, Alex, for the good of the cause? I think we.
Yes. Okay, so we will let you all know. Please watch Killing City Pod. That's our page.com.
Yep.
Also, if you're not a subscriber, get in the Insider Club. It's not that expensive. In fact, I'm going to try and talk Jamie into let me do like a special subscriber. If you go for a year, you're going to get a discount. I'm going to talk to him about it. You'll be the first to know if you go to our Facebook page as well, and you can find information on that. But we're going to talk about that. We will always remember, though, at killingcitypod.com, we have a calendar on the front page. You scroll down, and there's every event, every live event, or everything it's so important we want to let you know about. Just scroll down, and you'll see it. And if there's an X in front of the date, that just means it's already happened. But we don't like to delete them. We like to show you that we actually, are out in the world.
You missed out, you lazy bastard. You should have come. So
you should have come. So that will happen. And we got the black box thing. And also, I will tease this way out. We have met with a very noted Kansas City, like a legendary Kansas City nightclub and restaurant owner who we are inking a deal to do a live event with him this spring coming up next year.
Yes.
And you're thinking, oh, dude, it's July. That's forever away. No, you know what? It's really not. Although Jamie and I, it's going to be crazy because, you know what, Jamie, when we were talking about this, it'll probably be in April, folks, just telling you. Also, that's when my house is going to go on the market. So I'm going to
great timing.
But we're going to make it happen. So there's a lot going on, but a deadly development. Stay tuned for that. And listen, if you're into Kansas City, what I love about this book is like when I first read it, I'd only lived here about 4 or 5 years. The longer I've lived here, the more when I went back, like editing the book, I was like, oh, right. I see what he's doing there. I've been there. I know about that. You're going to love it. It's a delight. And if you're a subscriber, the first, hey, Jamie, the first installment is free.
The first one y'all get to read. Then you're right, and then we're going to put it behind the paywall because
then it goes behind the pay.
We're those kind of pricks.
yeah, and then after that, but I don't know. Every now and then, if it's a special occasion, he might let you peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, we should do. Maybe we'll do that with subscribers and stuff. If people dig the book and stuff, because I would be happy to tell. It's funny because I had some people think that the mayor was based on one of the former mayors, and it's not based on that mayor. People got that completely wrong.
We had a discussion about this.
Yeah, it's not who people think it is.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say this because it's pretty, there's only been one female mayor in the history of Kansas City. So the mayor in the book is a woman as well, but it is not based on Kay Barnes. So if that was your thought, no, it's not based on Kay Barnes. So
apparently not, but that's what I thought. I thought, oh, this is based on Kay. Okay.
Oh, I have people that work for Kay Barnes that weren't happy with me and not terrible, but it's like, wow. it wasn't great, it wasn't nice for Kay. And I was like, it's not based on Kay. Wrong mayor. But if you know me, you'll figure out who it's kind of based on, the personality type. So anyway, all right. Anything else for the good of the cause?
No, just we'll see you next month, if not sooner.
All right, folks. Be safe and double check your prescriptions. Sadly.
Summer is in full swing, and whether you're heading to the beach, the mountains, or just putting on extra miles around town, make sure your vehicle's ready. Stop by Valvoline Instant Oil Change for a 15-minute drive-through oil change. Stay in your vehicle while trusted technicians change your oil, check your tires, lights, and essential fluids. No appointment needed. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the easy choice for summer driving. Coupons at BayAreaOilChange.com.